Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. And this is going to be me and Greg unleashed today because we have no guest. No guest to keep us on a tether today. There's no reason to keep the language down. There's no reason to keep anything down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hell, there's no reason to keep our lunch down. So who knows what might happen on today's show. We're in
a lot of F-bombs and puking. Sounds like my college days.
Exactly.
I love it.
Sounds like your college days. And that was, what, a year and a half? Well, never mind. We'll get into that some other time. We'll talk about your college story. Anyway, I'm sure that was a very eventful 9 months. For anyone that's joining us live, we thank you. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe. And then if you want the audio version nestled right here between your ears where we so belong. That's right. All right, Greg. If you want us nestled between your ears, head on over to iTunes or Stitcher, depending on your handy-dandy mobile device, and subscribe there. That way you get the latest episodes and all of that good stuff, all the goodness. And, of course, YouTube is where you get the real goodness because that's where you see and hear us.
And, damn it, you want to look at us, okay?
That's sure. Well, it is a more entertaining
I just got my business partner just came back from 2 weeks in Hawaii. That's why he's so damn tan. Guys, meet Chris. Chris, meet the world. Now he's just showing off his dance moves.
Hawaiian specifically, dance moves. All right, so we are covering a lot of things today because we've got Playster put out an interesting article called 75 Ways That Real Estate Agents Can Promote Themselves Online, and we're going to take a look at this and talk about what our favorites are, how you can execute some of the key things that we think are the most important on this list, what we think is not important depending on where you're at in the stage of your business and so forth. So we're going to talk about that.
Types. There's some of the shit in here. My skin just started crawling. I'm like, why did you put it on there?
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Greg, what's been going on with you? What do you got?
Keep on talking. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how I'm doing.
I did not know the MF was coming at the end of that.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Brinley Tucker, by the way, for sending us our patented shut up buttons. There we go. That we each have.
I had to break it out.
Sadly, don't work on Greg.
No. That's just encouragement for me. I'm just like, oh, you gonna say motherfucker? I'll say motherfucker. But I have a variety
like Joe Boy. All right, so we'll forget what you have. So there's a question that caught my eye that will get you started, and I want to see if you pick out the mistake maybe or just the mindset error in this question. So this is from Lead Gen Scripts and Objections. This is Boris Yakubov. Says, what are some good cheap dialers out there for circle prospecting?
Well, you get what you pay for, homeboy. It's like, I really want to get the cheapest car I can possibly get. That's the same thing. It's like, but I want to go to the racetrack.
I would like a really fantastic,
really go fast.
Yeah, I really want to date a high-value girl, but I don't want one that's going to make me take her out to a nice dinner. I really just want one that eats a lot of McDonald's.
Yeah, but she better fit in a size 0 dress.
Exactly.
The fuck are you to ask? What are you thinking? I mean, you're gonna pay for what you get, man. A dialer is a dialer. If you want to go to Mojo, pay $89 to get a single line dialer. If you want to get a triple line dialer, you pay $139 a month for it. Look, it's $139. If you can't afford $139 and then $150 every 6 months to get the numbers, get out of the business. That's the cheapest possible thing you can ever do, especially if you log time in the chair doing calls, minimum of 1 to 3 hours per day. There's absolutely no reason why you're not going to be able to make money. I mean, without a doubt. Even Midori, our new agent right here. Hey, Midori, meet Real Estate Uncensored. Real Estate Uncensored, meet Midori. She just did 2 days of private messages into her Facebook group, and today she got a commercial lead, and she also got a purchase lead. So go work, do shit besides sit on your butt.
All right. All right. There was another one that caught my eye here because this is interesting. It's it's having to do with FSBOs, and the question comes from Keith Raymond. Says, any ideas on how to wiggle your way into a FSBO if your buyers have already contacted the owner and saw the property? And what's a reasonable amount to charge that FSBO? I figure something is better than nothing.
to wiggle your way in. Let me help you out here. Unless you have a buyer broker agreement that is legally binding you to those buyers, those sellers have no obligation to pay you whatsoever. There's no listing signed. There's no MLS. You're fucked. So wiggle something else.
If the buyers choose to disregard their relationship with you and go deal directly with the for sale by owner.
Yes, exactly.
That's an if. So
you can ask your buyers to pay you a commission. Say, hey, look, guys, we've worked a lot together. Is there an opportunity that we can potentially, you'd pay me something? I know you found the for sale by owner, but I will still want to represent your interest and make sure that we cover our rear ends with the proper contract, proper disclosures, proper inspections, proper everything else. And maybe the buyers and the seller will split it. Maybe, who knows? But there's nothing that they're required to pay you at all.
All right. So last question for this little intro phase here. Jen Fishman, who actually is here in San Diego, this is also from the Lead Gen Objections group, says, hey guys, can anyone help me out? My team has a new listing in Ocean Beach. Congratulations? Cool. Question mark?
Awesome.
We would like to well, yeah, Ocean Beach is like the what would you call it? The hippie surfer kind of tatted up area of San Diego.
It's my area.
Sure, why not? So it says, my team has a new listing in Ocean Beach. We would like to contact agents who have recently sold properties in the area to see if they might have a buyer for our listing. Does anyone have a good script for this? Wait, I feel like this is going to require a lot of intense preparation from Greg. So we're going to sit. I'm going to play the Jeopardy music.
So here it is.
Okay.
So, hi, Matt, Greg McDaniel. Yeah, over here with Jay Rockcliffe. Hey, I just wanted to quickly give you a call, let you know that we just took a listing here in Ocean Beach. Really excited about it. We just wanted to see if you guys, it's going to be at 123 Main Street. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,100 square feet, a third of an acre. Just wanted to see if you guys may have a couple of buyers that might be interested in getting in before it hits the market.
All right, so that's the end of that script is the key, getting in before it hits the market.
Yeah, I mean, you want to congratulate. It's a great opportunity to really build a relationship with the other agent. In all honesty,
Yeah.
And hey,
relationships are good.
If I had sold a property in Ocean Beach in that area, and then I got a call from you, who would be the listing agent, and say, hey man, I respect that you're really hustling down there. Hey, I got a property coming on. Do you have any buyers that might be interested in blah 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 blah? Dude, I'm gonna be like, wow, you reached out to me. That's awesome. Now there's some synergy there, and it might come back to you at some other point.
Yeah.
No. So take them out to lunch. Go big on this thing if you're gonna try to build relationships.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So what else you got, Greg? What's been going on with your business lately? We got a few minutes.
Oh, so I'll
let you talk and rant since we have no guests.
Pipe down.
I'm gonna keep my finger on the mute button though, just in case you spring that toy out and he decides to say MF again.
God.
Yeah.
So you know how when you say spring that toy out, that sounds so disgusting. So business for us has been booming, man. A lot of buyers we've been able to get a lot of our buyers in the contract. We're seeing our upper market really kind of start to slow, which I think a lot of people are starting to see that slow right now. A lot of people are on vacation. Okay. But I'll tell you some of the stuff that I'm in. Hold on, where is it? It's around here somewhere. So one of the things that I'm really starting to do a lot is I just happened to get this book, but it's gonna be my journal book, and I'm gonna date it. I just got it today, so there's nothing in it yet, but I just got it today, and I am going to write in 5 things, 5 affirmations, 5 things that I want, and 5 things that I am grateful for today. And I've seen this change a lot of people's lives. A lot of people that I'm coaching and training on the Making Out Challenge are doing this. I'm really getting them to do it. They're coming back with epically awesome stories that are transforming both their business, their mindset, the way they view things. It's really, really, really a powerful thing. And so I'm like, well, what the hell am I doing by not doing it? I've got to go do it myself. So I'm going to start it, and I'm going to keep everybody up to date on what transforms in my life, what things are changing. And so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to also start putting myself to my feet to the fire in regards to a lot of the stuff. I come up with a lot of this crap on just off the cuff in regards to some ideas on how to blend things. Here's an idea that I did for sale by owners, or anything else that make me moves or whatever. If you're able to build a relationship with them, right, and then you do a 1-day listing agreement, you do a Sunday open house, but you push this thing out to Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, everywhere, run Facebook ads, the whole 9 yards, get people's attention. But what you're going to do to leverage that opportunity, Matt, is this. You're going to go and say, hey, property hasn't been on the market since whatever, whenever it was last listed. You know, 1 day open house, call me for private showings. And I'm like, why has people not been doing that? Most people will try to get get an opportunity to do the open house. But what if you can pick up buyers and you do the showings? Not that other agents get to do the showings, you get to do the showings, personal showings of the property. So basically, you hopefully can fill the whole day up with individual showings at different times, like an hour allotments. Do the Sunday open house, and then do more at the end of the evening, and see if you can pick up a couple, 2, 3, 5 buyers off that one potential listing. Then you can go to the other for sale by owners and say, hey guys, I have X amount of buyers that are looking for X product. You guys seem to fit the bill. Can I get my buyers in? And so you can literally puddle jump this thing all over the place. And Josh Bryan thinks I'm brilliant.
Stop. Don't encourage him.
Josh, it's okay. Bring it. But yeah, so you're gonna be able to leverage that opportunity, and you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna do a 1 day listing agreement, 24-hour listing agreement, 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. So you're legally protected, and then if it goes well, it goes well. So that's something that I was thinking about. I'm like, huh.
So now you're gonna hold your feet to the fire in the sense of actually implementing some of the stuff that you're coming up with for other people.
That was an example, but no, fuck no, I'm not doing that.
I was gonna say, you're not. I don't see you out there hoofing the open house signs, Greg, on a Sunday. But that's all right. You have team members to do that. But going back to the journaling thing, so I've made a major change in the way that I journal in the mornings. That's somewhat consistent with what you're doing, Greg. But I track a few different things I wanted to point out to people. So number one, I have a space for dreams. So if I remember what I was dreaming about when I woke up, I will put that down. And then what was my nighttime routine the night before? Did I set out my workout clothes? Did I like shut down the way that I want to shut down and execute my kind of nighttime routine? And then my morning routine up until that point, because journaling is one of the last things of the morning for me, like right before I start working at 7. So I will have gone through my morning routine, and then I'll review that. Did I execute the stuff that's part of my morning routine? Then I'll get into what's my victory, what's my one thing, what's my most important thing, whatever you want to call it. Like, what is the thing that today will move me closer to my goals, where if that one thing happens, today will be a success. So I'll write that down. And then I'll write down the 5 things I'm grateful for, and then what are the problems in my business right now. So usually 2 or 3 things, kind of Jay Sammet style, but just trying to brainstorm within the business, not just within the wider world itself, which then leads to great business ideas that I should not be pursuing, which is why I stopped doing that to begin with. But it is great for developing deal flow, or idea and deal flow. But I want to develop that flow of ideas within my business, not just within the wider world. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Actually, that's a really good way to look at it. People should be doing, because like me, you're always having to wrangle me back in, because I'm like, what about this? What about this? You're like, no, fuck.
What if we send out press releases to all the real estate magazines?
I'm like, gonna kill you.
How many are there? List them off, and you're like,
2, 6. If I make one up myself.
Yeah, exactly. If you started one tomorrow, there'd be 3.
Yes. I'll be a published author right off the bat. Perfect.
Exactly.
So
yes.
the book Go for No that I talked about, there's a concept in there I want people to try to wrap their heads around. And it's probably going to be a little bit harder for most people to wrap their heads around this thing, but check this out. Most people, Matt, would you agree, when they're prospecting, they have an idea that they want to get X amount of leads in that prospecting session. So usually people are ecstatic to get 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3 would be a massively cool day, so on and so forth. Okay. So from now on, I want you guys to change the way that you're thinking. I don't want you to go out there and look for leads. I want you to set a number of rejections. So instead of saying, I want to get 1 lead today. Okay, I did 10 calls, talked to 6 people, and it's a really good ratio.
Let's go 2 out of 10 just to make it actually realistic. Unless you're calling your mom, then you'll get 6 out. Like I was gonna say, I wouldn't get 6 out of 10 if I called my mom 10 straight times.
She'd be like, Matt, what?
Yeah.
Like, hi. Just like Stewie. Mom.
All right.
What?
You guys can look that clip up on YouTube.
Yeah, you'll laugh your asses off. Okay, but so here it is. Yesterday I was doing cold calls, and I had a 6% connection rate. So that was a pretty good rate. I did 243 phone calls in an hour, in a little over an hour. So I had 124 calls. Sorry. Dyslexia kicking in there. And so this is what I want you to do. Instead of just setting a time or anything else, time frame, I want you to set a number of people that you have to hear the word no from every day. So for me, I only talk to 6 people, okay? And so if I have a rejection number of 10, 15, 25 people telling me no every single day, nestled within there are going to be leads, because people are going to say yes because it's a mathematical equation, right? So if I call 124 people, I talk to 6 people, or I talk to 6% of the people, well, then I need to 4, 5, 6, 7, 10x that thing to get to my rejection numbers, which will only increase my lead numbers. A story in the book talks about, it's all fake, but I mean, he talks about the guy was a suit salesman, and he'd opened up the suit store, and he got the first client came in, and the client bought a whole set, like about a suit, a sports coat, shirts, ties, socks, shoes, I mean, the whole shebang, right?
Okay.
And I spent about $1,100. Now the manager comes over to him and goes, well, I was really good, but what did the client say no to? And the salesman was like, well, he didn't say no to anything. He just bought everything. He's like, that's exactly my point. You stopped the sale. You didn't keep pursuing the sale because in your mind, he had already bought too much, because they figured out the salesman's mentality and mindset was $1,000 was a lot of money in one spend. So what if that buyer had $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, as a spend that he could have gone, but there was never that question spurring that next purchase on. So, sir, you have a shirt. Would you like some cufflinks? So, sir, you have a pants. Would you like a belt? You keep moving forward. Now, how do you relate that in real estate? A lot of us think, well, if you're buying $1 million house, God, that's a lot of money, right? But why don't you, if they're not going to sell,
you have to watch that tendency. If you have that mindset, you have to suppress that when you're working with people that are buying those houses.
Yes, you do. But think about this. We all do calls or door knocks about people selling. Have you ever talked to them about asking them to buy in the same breath? Have you ever talked to them about their family members that might be thinking about investing? Have you ever talked to them about investing for their children? Have you ever, asked, all these different questions about different sides of, real estate until they say no or take a long walk off a short pier? Keep asking, keep digging, keep pursuing forward. You don't know what they have that they might want to do. I mean, what if they have a bunch of investment properties that they don't have a good depreciation rate on anymore? And it'd be better for them to do a 1031 exchange, take that equity, roll it over to a better investment property for their portfolio. But you never asked about investment properties. You only asked about the sale of where their home is. See how that goes? You keep digging and keep asking until they say no. Go for the no. Go read that book, by the way, guys. Go for no. It's an hour and a half on Audible. Very good book. Just phenomenal stuff. I highly, highly, highly recommend it.
All right. Sounds like a good one. I like it.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, I think it helps if anyone has the just the reluctance to make somebody feel uncomfortable, and that's what you don't like about cold calls. Just that little bit of reframing where you can say, I'm going for a certain number of no's, can help you get over that a little bit, because then you are expecting it and celebrating it a little bit, whether it's 5, whether it's 10, whatever the case is. If you can get to the point where you kind of look at that no as genuinely looking at that no as not a step to a yes, and then I'll celebrate when I get the yes. But no, I will celebrate when I get to 10 no's, like just no's in and of themselves. Like that's a little way of like rewarding yourself for just taking the action that will get you the results that you want, whether it's today or tomorrow, but you celebrate the action, not just the results. And that's a key thing to me. Like that goes back to you and I, our episode on goal setting. So I'm glad that you're coming around to my way of thinking, Greg, because this is it's about setting realistic goals that you can commit to 100% and going after them. And I think this is a good way to keep yourself motivated and give you an alternative way of setting goals, as opposed to setting goals that you can't control, like I'm going to get 5 leads. You set goals that you can control, like I'm going to make X number of calls, or I'm going to get this many no's based on how many calls I'm making.
Right. Also, the mindset, what it does is it desensitizes you to that horrible little word called no, because the more times you hear it, the more commonplace it is. So you're like, okay, no problem. I mean, you should literally be like, hey, Matt, Julie, you're 3 obese little babies. Thank you. Boom. High five to you. Thank you for rejecting me. I truly appreciate you today. Have a great fucking day. And move on.
And they're cussing that too.
Yeah, you can. Probably won't get so much on the on the lead on that one. But the point is that What if you legitimately, like Matt and Julie and the three obese babies, I get off the phone, hey, no, Greg, we're never going to buy or sell. Dude, that is the best news I have heard all day. Thank you so much. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye. Click. Matt's going to be like, the fuck just happened there? I just said no.
That's the best, yeah. Because that was your 10th no, and now you can go grab a beer.
You're like, yeah, I'm out of here. Oh, and give yourself an award, okay? Set something aside for yourself that if you get an epic fail, like a truly epic fail by someone just shooting you down hardcore and then kicking you when you're down and then stepping on your head as you drowned, dude, go celebrate that. Dude, record it and send it to me. I want to hear about these because I have had some awesome people. And I've told you about the lady who just entered in and she called me a blood-sucking real estate agent, F-bomb, 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 F-bomb. And, I got really heated. I started getting really, really mad. And I just turned around and I'm like, ma'am, I really wish I was there because it sounds like you just need a hug. I gotta fuck you. And I just literally did this. I'm like, yes,
victory,
greatest ever. Turn around and showed the team, and I showed them, and we all started laughing our butt off. But I mean, when you get those guys, you're doing something right. They're just having a bad day. It's not you, it's just them. But celebrate your losses because you will explode your business because you're looking for the no. You want that. You crave it. You have to have it because ultimately, yes, it's going to get you to the yeses, but you're no longer afraid of that silly little word.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we definitely don't have our American culture does not reward that. There's other cultures that are based on negotiating, so they start with no and then work backward from there. And it's something that's it's culturally ingrained not to be bothered by that and not to
as guys.
Sure.
Hey, you want to go out with me? No. Okay.
And that's not the end of the conversation. That's the start of the negotiation.
So if I take you to dinner and to a nice place, you want to go on a date? Maybe. What's in it for me? I just told you I'm taking you to dinner. What else do you want?
That's right.
How about flowers too? Okay, I'll do flowers.
It's tapas.
Yeah, we're gonna feed you more escargot. Funniest photo.
Exactly. Go to my Facebook page if you don't know what we're talking about. So facebook.com/pursuingresults.
Kristen, his girlfriend was feeding him. He was eating escargot, and I think it looked like someone just like kicked one of his fat babies. He like starting to cry.
That's right. All right, guys. So I have a couple things to mention, then Greg has some shout-outs, and then we'll dive into this post from Placer about 75 ways real estate agents can promote themselves online. We'll dive into that. So we have done a terrible job of actually letting people know what's on our site, which is what I'm going to do. So there's two things, one free, one paid, but there's two really good resources that we created, last year or earlier this year or something.
It was last year, dude. That's a lot of work.
Year. Yeah. So we put together two things. Number one is Greg's favorite scripts. That's a PDF with all of Greg's best and most used and customized scripts that he's created for himself to use. Each one of them has a link to a video where you can actually see Greg go through the script and hear the phrasing, the tonality. That's all free. So if you go to McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, on the sidebar there are both of these things. So you got that little link there to Greg's favorite scripts where you can pop your email in and download that PDF. It's got all the links in there. It's got the whole. Every script is transcribed. It's ready for you to go. And then the other thing is our farming training program. So if you want to know how to establish, we talked about this a little bit with Jason Hartman on Monday, right? And he talked about how he selected his farm and what he did, how he built the relationship, how he reached out to people. We go into super, super, super detail, in depth on how exactly to do that step by step, from picking out your farm to how to prospect it, how to build relationships, how to follow up with leads, how to turn those into events and relationships, how to bring people in your database, how to communicate with your database, really from A to Z of how to generate business for yourself through any kind of geographic or demographic farming is all in there. Plus, there's a couple of really good bonus videos on how to really use Zillow and how to run 3 types of events for your business. So that's all. If you just go to the McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, that's on the site as well, the link to that, and that's $99, and I think it's 8 hours of video, hardcore, solid content from video training from me and Greg. This is the stuff that we don't really do on the show anymore. We take a lot of questions and things like that, but we don't go as as hardcore detailed into content like we used to. So that's the best place. If you want more solid content on the nuts and bolts of how to do stuff, it's there in that training course. So anyway, and then just as always, go download Homing In, go check it out. There may be seller leads waiting for you, people that are requesting valuations from real agents. Go check that out. It's homingin.co on your desktop, or just go to the App Store for whatever device you have and go download that and check it out. That's all I got.
New Super Mario Ethan says cool. So cool.
Cool, Ethan.
Yes. Okay, so guys, McDaniel Challenge is booked out to, check this out, dude. Oh my God, January 23rd of 2017. So guys, I'm really pumped. I just booked it with Lori and Elizabeth and Sylvia. Guys are awesome. Thank you for watching and supporting us. And then I left my freaking notebook at home. Go figure, right? But I've been having a lot of I'm going to be hanging out with Aaron Hoffman tonight. Super excited to do a challenge with him. Got Nick Jackson. If you're listening to this, dude, he blew me off for a karate tournament. Blew me off, man.
How dare he?
I was devastated. I cried myself to sleep that night. And I almost called you, but we've talked about
nobody needs that.
Nobody needs to talk to Johnson. Luz,
least of all Greg. We talk enough as it is.
Luz had a great call with her last night. And guys, all of you that are reaching out and messaging me and hanging out with me and chatting with me and going over stuff, like Hank, dude, that was awesome. We're gonna go back and forth with you as well. Ryan, Matthew, John, Tyler, David, Darcy, Benton. You guys are awesome. Mike Holbrook, you're hilarious, dude. Misty, gonna get some time with her. So you guys keep doing it. Hit me up with questions, guys. I love talking with you. By the way, the McDaniel Challenge, guys, is 1 to 2 hours of free coaching that I do at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I do it for free, no strings attached. So if you're something that's stopping you, blocking you, hindering you, holding you back, guys, get on the call. Literally, you're going to be the February kids. I mean, nobody wants to be the February kids. You guys are going to want to be the January kids. Those are the cool kids. I gotta incentivize people somehow.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Like they need any more incentive.
All right. Oh, but you get a hold of me, 925-915-1978. Go follow me on Facebook and send me a Facebook message there.
Right. You gotta set up something for like a waiting list or emergency. If someone bails out, you can call them list. So anyway.
Oh, Matt should put that together. That's a good idea. Matt, you should put that together.
I do have it put together. It's called Your Calendar. So how about when somebody bails on you from a McDaniel Challenge, you take someone that would the last person that just booked like all the way in January, and you just call them and offer them a call right on the spot.
I do. It's called Your Calendar. All right. Let's go, smartass.
All right. So let's get into this. This is a really interesting post, and there's a lot of stuff on here. But let's pick out some of the more important things and.
So one of the ones that jumped out at me right off the bat was doing some sort of a blog. You can do video, audio, written blogging, and blogging about the latest news and trends, where you guys can go to realtytimes.com. You can get articles off of that. You can also do trending things. You can go to all types of different financial websites and look at the real estate section and go there. Go to HomeSnap and get a market update, two-paragraph little market update there that you can talk really quickly about or write up about. You guys can blog about market news and also do evergreen content. Those of you who don't know what evergreen is, it just means it lives forever. So if I was going to talk about the market update for August 10th or week of August 8th through the 13th, well, that's going to live for a week. Okay, so it would be good to do, but it's boring as shit too, because there's no real sexiness to it. But if I could give you 5 ways to spruce your house up to get 10% more on the sale of your home, that's going to live forever. That's got some sexy to it, Matt and I obviously do video, and if you feel you have a face for radio, and that's okay too, but you're a great writer, then go ahead and write these blogs out and then push them out and post them up onto LinkedIn. You can post them onto Facebook Notes. You can tweet a link out. You can do all kinds of stuff with this stuff and really recalibrate it. That's what I would do on some of the post blogs. What would you do?
Yeah, well, first of all, I would turn all of those. I would do what I do, and the reason I'm doing this is because I think it's working well, not because it's just my idea. But what I do is I I blog in the sense that I get my thoughts together and I get the thoughts on paper. That goes up to my website, goes to Facebook, goes to LinkedIn, goes to Medium, right? But then I piggyback off of that and I'll do a Facebook Live on that same topic, elaborating and going a little bit deeper on the same thing that I blogged about, right? So I use the writing process to get my thoughts together. That does double duty, and then it gets my thoughts together for the Facebook Live. So I show up knowing what I'm going to Facebook Live about. So Greg, you'll pull stuff off of New York, like the New York Realty Times, right?
Yeah.
So, and that gives you like the 5 ways to spruce up your home to get 10% more, whatever. So you can either create something like that on your own, or you can write kind of a paraphrase or a review of that article, and then go do a Facebook Live on that article. Like all the content doesn't have to be yours, although the more of your content, the better. But you can take and repurpose other people's content, do a review of it, and then go do a Facebook Live about it. And then you could even go a step further, have somebody pull down that Facebook Live, have them strip the audio out, send that to SoundCloud, turn it into a podcast. That could be the way that you actually record your podcast is on Facebook Live, so that's an option. You can also send that into rev.com, have that audio transcribed, and put that up. So you can actually turn every Facebook Live you do into its own separate blog post for your website, and everything you say will be transcribed. So there's a lot of cool options and different systems that you can use to put content on your website. But
for everybody out there, guys, Rev is REV, and it's .com, and it's $1 a minute. So you can say a lot of words in 3 minutes, guys. I mean. I mean, look how fast Matt and I talk. I mean, fuck, that'd be a lot of words.
Yeah, well, and in your case, a lot of curse words. But yeah, so that caught my eye. The other one was the number 3 one, which is create niche landing pages. And there's a lot of directions you can go with this, but I would direct you back to the Andy Green episode where he talks about that neighborhood website that they put up that's generated and will continue to generate millions of dollars in commission. So they found a really nice, essentially kind of like Jason Hartman talked about, like his farm area. What they found is that they found a neighborhood by their office that was upper middle class. It was growing. It was relatively new. There's still new construction going on in it, but in their case, it was thousands of homes. So they created a website specifically for that neighborhood. They post content to it. They look out for community events. They help facilitate discussion. They look out for what's going on in the neighborhood, and they write about it on this website. That website is the number one ranked website when anybody searches for that neighborhood in Google, which there's a lot of people searching for because it's a very popular, attractive neighborhood. Great, so they picked the right neighborhood, but what they did is they put up a niche website about that neighborhood. That becomes a central hub. That sends traffic to their home search site. That turns into buyer leads. So direct, trackable revenue off of that one website. So out of all the things that are on this list that we're going to talk about, that's one of the, I think, highest value ways that an agent could divert time that probably should be spent prospecting and divert it over into a marketing activity that I think will actually produce real, direct, trackable results.
I actually had a question with one of my clients, Kara. She does a lot of. She's the head of a startup in their marketing, and they have clients, big name companies, and they have a minimum of $100,000 spend in marketing every single month. And so I ran an idea past her, and again, we've talked about this before. Go out, do a Facebook Live and then record, download the video and then upload it as an ad from your business page, and talk about buyers' needs and wants. Go out and do another video on something in the community, then do another one about a business, and then do something like a restaurant or something, and then have some sort of political figure or someone with authority do an interview with them, and run those for 7 days each at $5 a day spend, or 10 if you really want to up it. So it's $140 for $5 a day for 30 days. And I number 11 here is blog interviews or Q&As. So that's essentially what that is, because if you can do the interviews or a question and answer about something that's in the area and show people and showcase why it's something cool, you're going to become much more top of mind than just a stagnant ad that's running there. But you can backlink them and to back to your website or all kinds of other stuff. But I love the fact that, at least, I mean, I came up with that on my own, but at least it's number 11 on this list here of doing something like Matt said. For us, video guys, as much as he and I like to do video, look, it's going to be the way the future is going to be going. Things are moving to video. End of story. So, I mean, if you really want to be found, it's really simple. Start doing video. Facebook Lives, because you can do a Facebook Live just to yourself, and you can download it and upload it, so you're not afraid. You're not actually talking to the world, which kind of defeats the whole fucking purpose. But
it's good practice, yeah. Right.
Oh, I'm gonna use this really cool tool, but not use it.
That's right. All right, so let's talk about number 13, put out press releases, because you asked me about this the other day, and of course I summarily shot down the idea. Press releases are, if you have, and this is what I told you and I will tell the world, if you have relationships. If you have relationships with people at local papers, local stations, whatever, and you can put that press release directly into the hands of someone that you know, that you've worked to build a relationship with, and you know adds value to them by giving them something legitimate to publish, then go for it. But if you do not have those relationships, just putting out press releases or using like PR web and stuff like that, just services that allows you to blast whatever you feel like onto someone else's website, it's not going to be very effective. So when you put out press releases and stuff like that, ideally you would have already spent some time in the lead up to putting out your press release, building a relationship with somebody at the local media. And I was not interviewing, but I was talking with someone that did a really great podcast about this. He said, look, media people love content. So if you put out content, media people will love you. You have to be a resource to them, but you have to be putting out content on a regular basis, then reach out to them with some of the content that you're putting out, make sure that they're aware of who you are, start building that relationship, and then when they need something, you're going to be one of the ones that they think about, and they're going to come to you and ask for your opinion on stuff. So rather than thinking about, okay, what can I push out in terms of press release, think about how do I pull somebody in so that when somebody in the media in my local area thinks about real estate and wants to get an opinion from a realtor about the market, how can I get them to think about me? Josh Bryan just had that happen to him not too long ago. He asked for me for tips on just being like live on camera, and I said, "What? Why? What's up?" Like Facebook Live is what I'm thinking. He's like, "No, I got asked by a local media stage, like a local news station in Chicago, to give his opinion on Brexit." So I said, first of all, go read this article on Brexit, and I sent him an article.
Get intelligent.
Yeah, get intelligent. Make sure you know what's up. And then I gave him some tips for being on camera. But like Josh is, he's not a mega broker in Chicago. Like they're not going to just the busiest, most productive, outwardly successful people. If you be a resource to them, they'll come to you. You don't have to be, doing 20 deals a month or something like that. So
that wouldn't suck. But no, here's another thing I was just thinking about. First off, Matt, you're a dream killer for smashing me down on my
dream killer.
My dream killer. My dream to put out press releases and write them.
I'm an optimistic realist.
Just that's what you did to me. But the one thing that I get a lot from folks, and like me, hate me, I don't give a shit. But people are, Greg, I watch all your videos and stuff, and the reason why is because you're real. So whatever that means for you, be real in whatever you're going to do. People are going to be attracted to someone who's authentic to them.
Yes.
Matt.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day when it comes to like sales language.
True to who we are. I don't let him, put me in a box and, baby. Don't put baby in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. No.
You're a giant baby, Greg. If you're a baby, that's good Lord. I don't know what the hell. I'm a fetus. But I was thinking about this the other day in relation to being authentic. There's some guys, when you come across their like online profile, you go, oh, that guy's fake. You ever had that? You ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot of times it's speakers, it's sales trainers. You ever notice that?
That are never sold anything?
Well, that's another discussion. But I'm not saying they never sold anything, but let's say there's trainers in the real estate industry that have never sold real estate. That's what Greg was alluding to. But I'm not talking about that.
No,
I'm talking about people that have an image, and they are sales trainers, or they're heavily involved in that industry. And there's one thing that I noticed that you can tell when somebody switches on the sales language. Because you all of a sudden start talking and you start using things like tie downs and you start using people's names, when before, like if you don't talk like that normally, don't talk like that when you try to close somebody on a sale, because it's automatically very inauthentic. And I think we've heard that so often. Somebody made the comment the other day that he's like, look, Brian Tracy was not a cold call salesman, yet Brian Tracy puts out a book called 26 Closes That Always Work. He's like, I tried all of them in the 80s, none of them worked. He's like, Great quote, great line.
I tried
Anyway,
them all, and none of
I
them
tried them
worked.
all, and none of them worked. He's like, because he didn't do it himself. Like they sat around and came up with some of the stuff. So just be careful, like who you listen to. And when it comes down to sales language and stuff like that, we've talked about it before, Greg. It's not necessarily about the close. It's about the open. It's about value. And if you open them correctly, if you lead them along in the sales process, they will want to take the next steps with you without you having to go into sales language and go, now, Greg, wouldn't you agree? If I could show you a way,
God, I
you
hate
could
that.
sell your like now. What just happened to you right there when I launched into that?
My backbone started to quiver. It was like, no, you're selling me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
What if you?
It's the same reaction I had. Did you catch that episode of Grant Cardone's podcast where he had people call in and try their cold call skills on him?
No.
Oh, it was great.
That must have been horrible.
Every one of them were like that. Greg, if I could show you a way, and
Click.
then, yeah, as soon as somebody says that, you lost me.
Dude, it's seriously that makes me physically feel funny, like weird, like
Weird.
I know it's going in the direction I don't like, because I'm automatically want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Just be like, stop it. So check this out, guys. It's this is a cool new little app out there and site. It's Relola, Relola. It's free. You can go, and if you're a new agent, you can, as you go take a look at properties out and about, you'll check in essentially at different properties that are on the market, and then you'll answer like 8 little questions, go in depth on what you thought about it and blah blah blah, and then it gets posted up that you gave a review on this, and you can share this out on your social media, and you're gonna have a site with a page with them. Now, it shows the one that you're out and about and you know what the market's doing. So if you're out on broker's tour, or if you're out showing a client, why not do this? It doesn't cost you anything, and it shows that you're actually kind of out previewing properties. So I actually signed up for this thing. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to get my people doing it. HomeSnap is another one we talked about a lot. Get it on your phone, guys. I tried it out yesterday for the first time. Sincerely impressed on how cool that little app is for your phone. Get your buyers on HomeSnap, because they can send you and you can send them, homes with the information about the property. It's really pretty cool, and you can then share it out on social media as well. So that's another really good way to do it as well. We talked about posting onto LinkedIn. What I've done with a bunch of our shows is I will take Matt's write-up of the show, and since I'm dyslexic, I will copy and paste that into LinkedIn, where you can write articles, and then I will drop in the video that we did on the show. And so it has a written and a video attached to it. Guys, I get people write me back all the time and like, thank you so much for posting, great content, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. That's just another opportunity. So you go make a video about the hairstylist or barbershop or whatever else, take that, go to Rev, get it translated, post both up, boom, done. And that's the only place where professionals hang out, just so you guys know.
Sure it is.
All right.
So was there anything else that jumped out at you before I throw something together here?
Create your own podcast. No, there's a lot of stuff.
Podcast, that's a good one. That's a great way to build your referral network if you use it as a way to reach out to other influencers, business people, and referral partners in your market. So we've talked about that and alluded to it. We can probably do a whole episode on how to use podcasting for that. But
right.
So get thought leaders to contribute content. That's another great way to reach out to people. So one of the things that they do in the blogging world that I haven't done, just because we run a video podcast and we'll end up bringing people onto the show, is if the blogging world will reach out to other bloggers and just say, hey, give me your thoughts on this one thing. What's the biggest challenge? What's the biggest mistake you made as a podcaster? What's the one resource you would point to do X? And then they ask 15, 20 different people, and then they compile that into this big long blog post that gives everybody's answers. That's great material for a specific post.
Isn't that Quora? Yeah, Quora.
No, that's where you can answer somebody else's.
Right.
Yeah, Quora is something different.
You can ask.
I'm just talking about a roundup. It's called a roundup post, basically. So no, this is something completely different. This is something you would host on your own site. You would just get the content from other people by directly emailing them one question, just saying, hey, I want to put a blog post together that gives about 15 people's different perspectives on this one thing. What's your perspective? And then they give you back a couple of paragraphs, you edit it down, put it into your post, and then you've got this big, long, massive post with a ton of value, and you didn't have to create any of the content yourself. yourself. So that's something you can do, and it's a great way, great excuse, I should say, to reach out to influencers in your community. So imagine if you did something like that and you were involved in your local school board or something like that, and you sent out an email to the other teachers and the principal and maybe some of the other parents and the PTA, said, what's the one thing you're looking forward to this school year? And you get 10,
kids out
15
of the house.
opinions. Yeah, exactly. Well, whatever it is, you put it into a post and you publish it on your blog, and then you publish it out on Facebook, and if you're friends with them, you tag everyone that contributed to that article on Facebook. Same thing on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? So there's some great ways to maximize that, and it's a great way to start building relationships and leveraging a couple of them. Like if you have a couple of influencers in your community that you're close with, then get them first, get their opinions, then use their name when you reach out to the other people and you say, hey, would you mind contributing to this? Just answer this one question. I've already got responses from so-and-so and so-and-so. And when people read that, they go, oh, this is legit. I know that person, or I know of them.
No, so here's another idea I just kind of came up. I want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So it says, speak at conferences. Well, let's say that you're new in the business, you're come out of a different industry. Why wouldn't, I think it could be a good possibility that, when you go speak at a local, conference or group about your past industry, giving some insights and giving you an opportunity to hand out your real estate business card at these different events after you've been seen as someone with authority on a certain subject matter. I don't know. I've never thought about that before, but what do you think? Because it's just another place to meet people and hand out your business cards.
Yeah,
and still stay up with people.
Yeah, anytime you get a chance to speak under any circumstances, I would take it if you're any type of service professional, because at the very least, just the act of you putting that out on social media that I've been invited to speak, or I just spoke, or here's a picture of me speaking, that it's instant credibility. Nobody has to respond, nobody has to like your post, it doesn't matter. Just them seeing it scroll across their feed, just legitimacy, credibility, authority, expert status. You can never go wrong by being more of a considered expert, or more of an authority, or more of a celebrity in your niche. You cannot be celebrity enough in your niche.
No, you can't. Another one I like right here is send out email newsletters and follow-ups. I like our newsletter that we send out every single Tuesday. The different clips that we did from the week before, with some good articles at the bottom with Inman, with some good links at the top. It's a good, kind of recap of what the last week was. You could do something like that as well. Probably maybe where you are on deals, what your goals are, where you are on on achieving those goals for the year. Maybe throw in a couple of articles from like realtytimes.com that might be beneficial for the time of year or something going on in people's lives.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that for a sec, because that email newsletter is evidence of a much bigger marketing philosophy that we have that I think people could really benefit from, which is, and somebody just reminded me about it the other day because I was listening to a podcast with Ray Edwards, who's a copywriter and sales expert, and he made the point again that I've heard several other people say, but he really harped on it, was that the best marketing is marketing that's so good it has value in and of itself. Regardless of whether you ever buy anything or ever take the next step, the marketing itself is value. So like that email that we send out, the reason that it's constructed in the way that it is so that, look, you may never ever listen to our podcast, you may never buy anything from us, you may never ever engage with us in any other way, but if all you do is read that email every week, it will affect you and it will bring value to you. So it has the main takeaways from all of the shows that we've done that past week. So even if all you do is skim the email, you get the gist of what we've talked about, and you get some tactics that you can implement in your business right away, or some sort of like takeaway or key point that the guest made that's really important for you to understand. And so that's something really important to understand about that email, is that email is packed with value to the people that are on the receiving end, regardless of whether they ever take the next step with us. And that's the ideal that you want to strive for in your marketing, is what can I give away to buyers and sellers in my email or in my Facebook Live or in my whatever. What can I give them that's so valuable that even if they never ever work with me, they get value just by interacting with my marketing?
Yeah, you can go have a ghostwriter maybe draft up an ebook, on certain subject matters. You can do infographics. You go have infographics done about the market area that you're working in, and maybe do infographics on the schools and the ratings of the schools within the school areas or where properties are. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. People are very visual. Go to Pinterest if you guys I haven't done this before, and just type in, school ratings or best real estate, infographics. There's some really good ones in there. Actually, I learned a lot about, how to operate a lot of these technologies, apps like Snapchat or anything else. I go in there and I'll read a little something on Pinterest because it's pretty, and it has big buttons and colors. I'm a real estate agent. I don't want to read fine print. But that's another opportunity for you guys, because education is good. I'm a complete and total junkie when it comes to getting my email address in there. If I can get a free tip or a free ebook or something like that, dude, I'm all in. No wonder I have so much damn junk email.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you sign up for everything, yeah, that'll fill up quick.
I do, but I got great shit out of it. Great shit.
Well, there were some things that are here on the back end of the list that I want to mention, because we're going to cover these, or have covered them just recently here in depth. And the first one of these is Twitter. So points 35 through 40 all have to do with Twitter. Conduct a Twitter Q&A, take part in one, favorite lots of content, retweet others, yada yada. Go back and watch the last episode we did with Tim Stafford, how to develop a how to develop a Twitter following in 20 minutes a day, where he covers the specifics of exactly how to use Twitter. Now we're having someone come on the show in the near future. I believe it's early September. Brian Trachel, who's a LinkedIn expert, because the next 5 points on this list are all about LinkedIn. We've got someone coming on the show that's going to talk about that. So we'll cover that stuff in depth.
And we have Marianne, who's going to be coming on. She is an agent. Where is she out of? Marianne, where are you out of? I met her at Inman, but she's going to come on and she's going to talk all about Snapchat and how to really, really blow that thing up. There's a lot of cool things in there, guys, that I didn't even know you could do. Here's a quick little tech tip for you guys. This little company here, Utility Score, that was coming through.
Yep.
So Utility Score is really cool. Go to myutilityscore.com. You can enter in an address. So this would be great for buyers. Enter in their potential address, and then you can show them how much money they potentially are going to be spending on utilities and how much they could annually save if they were to put in maybe new windows or solar or something else. So free site, pretty damn cool.
Yep. All right, there was one other one here. Number 72 is post your services on Craigslist. I would say don't worry about the services.
How many roses is that going to be, Matt?
How many what?
How many roses is that going to be?
How many roses?
That's what hookers post. Like, hey, want to go on a date? It's going to be 50 roses. Or
is that for real? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you know about that. I don't know why you know about that, but all right, I'm gonna leave that to you.
Because I work with a police officer, and we got to talking about it when I don't know how Craigslist came up, but he told me about the roses. I'm like, that's my response. That's for real?
Yeah. Well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, damn it. That would have been funnier if you knew what that meant.
Yeah, sorry. No idea. But instead of posting your services, we've talked about this on the podcast with Jeff Cohn separately. Mm-hmm. So if you go to eliterealestatesystems.com, you can look this up. But we did a whole episode on Craigslist posting. You don't post your services, you post your listings. And then you get permission from other agents to post their listings. So even if you don't have any, you can still do this. But you can post in both yourself, or you can pay someone overseas to do this. But you can post like 50 to 100 homes a day on Craigslist and generate and just send them to your lead capture website, Real Geek site, whatever, and you can generate. I mean, Jeff generates hundreds of leads per month doing that. They're slightly lower in terms of the
quality,
not quality, not even the quality of the lead. No, the only thing that Jeff has found out, comparing like Boomtown leads versus Craigslist leads, is that sometimes the Craigslist leads, their average price point is a little bit lower, sometimes 10%, but actually that's evened out this year. Last year was about 15% lower. This year it's neck and neck between Craigslist and Boomtown leads, so that's not an absolute. But yeah, Craigslist has been a great source of leads for them, but they're not posting services. They're not saying, hey, I'm a realtor, work with me. They're saying, hey, here's a listing. Here's a house for sale. Now go to this website and copy and paste this link and go check out the pictures. And that's how you hook people. You can't put a live link. Craigslist won't allow that. But you can copy paste a plain text link and just tell people, hey, copy paste this into your browser, go look it up, and there's pictures in detail there, and they will do it. And they actually will register on your site, and you will get real leads from that.
I thought Jeff was completely full of shit, and then he broke out the spreadsheet on that show, and he showed it to me. That's the highest converting, lead source he had, and I was like, get out of here, no way. That was such a trip, dude.
All right.
Such a trip.
So anything, and just wanted to thank Andrew Gavin real quick. I don't know if he's watching right this second. He's messaging me on Facebook, and he's here in San Diego, works out of the KW Carmel Valley, kind of Del Mar area, and he just, it's a longer message. I won't go into all of it, but he was commenting on, Greg, you talk a lot about events, and he's having really, really great experience doing charity events. He has like one blowout one a year, and he actually was just on Marguerite's podcast a few weeks back, which is right around the time that we recorded our episode, just to give everyone the details. So I don't know if that episode is quite released yet, but if you look up Marguerite Crespillo, the Real Estate Real World podcast, Andrew Gavin's episode is either, it's already recorded, and it may be out, where he goes into detail on how he does that event, and it's been really good for him. He'll add 50 to 80 people to his contact list of actual Mets in person, people that came to that event into his database, which is phenomenal. I mean, to meet that many people and add them to your database that you actually met in person, they're not just leads. That's insane. So
that is awesome. I didn't even you know what, Matt, I didn't even think about doing charity events. I always thought about doing something interesting and fun, but I think a charity event would be fantastic. Maybe even black tie it up a little bit, have some fun. I don't know. There's some good charities here that we need to get behind a little bit. One of them is called ARF. It's a no-kill animal shelter that adopt pets out. So I think we're going to get back involved with them. If you can get involved with puppies or kids, or if you can combine them, that would be the perfect scenario for events, guys. If you're looking into that. Also, there's a whole Matt. I think events is part of the prospecting video package, isn't it? I think
yeah, it's the bonus video for the farming training. It's the 3 types of events you should be running, and you go, like you've alluded to it on other podcasts and Facebook Lives, but we go way into detail on exactly what your team does and ideas for other types of events and stuff like that. So that is one of the bonus videos. So go to McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. It's on the right-hand side. It's the real estate farming link, and then right below that is Greg's favorite scripts, the free scripts that you can download. So go check all that stuff out. And then Greg, quick reminder on the McDaniel Challenge.
It's a magical evening, Matt. It's just a magical evening. What can I say? It's a great time, guys. An hour to 2 hours of free. Anyway, I'm going to say this again. Free coaching. If anything that's stopping you, blocking you, holding you back from your utmost potential, guys, please hit me up. Literally, I'm booked into the last 2 weeks of January of next year. Facebook message me, follow me on Facebook, send me, reach out to me on my cell phone. Phone number is 925-915-1978. I do pick it up. If it rings, I will pick it up, guys, if I'm not in the meeting. So please get a hold of me, guys. Please, please, please. That's it, man. That is all I got. Let's wrap this thing up and put a little pretty little bow on it. That's right.
All right, guys. Again, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you so much for telling a friend about the show. We really appreciate it. Tell your friends in the business, tell your broker, whatever the case is. You can see we don't advertise the show. We're not throwing Facebook ads down your throat, offering you coaching and all this stuff. So we really appreciate you guys organically growing the show. We appreciate you guys finding us on YouTube and like binging on all of our past episodes. That's awesome. We love hearing that stuff. And make sure you jump on the McDaniel Challenge before Greg is booked up for the entire year of 2017. That will be coming at some point, so get a hold of him for that. But until then, until our next episode, which is Friday, we've got Tad Wicker, top producer interview with him from Wicker Homes, and that is Friday at 11 a.m. Until then, guys.
Love you. See you then.
All right.